All right, ladies and gentlemen, today was the funeral service. It was very, very difficult. It was very hard seeing his body there, lifeless. And I mean, he was always a great entertainer. He always performed. He has a video on two videos on YouTube. I will put up videos when he was younger performing as well, and I'll post those, like with me presenting them and talking about them. So I will post those for you guys to see. He was amazing. Like he had known so many. Well, he was like a female's fantasy. He was like a dream come true to all these women, and he was so great. And women loved him, and everybody loved him, and men loved him too. Like he was just so great. And out of the funeral service today, my family, two of my siblings did a really great job with the eulogies and all that. They did an amazing job, really good job, and they did it in very short notice. So I'm thankful to both of them. They were both awesome. They're both great. I love my siblings very, very much. And also, there was one friend of my dad's. He showed up at the funeral service, and I was like, oh, it was so sad. I'm like, and he was crying, and I'm like, oh, he couldn't go in because we had to have only 5 people there, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. So he was crying, and he was so upset, and he had called my dad every single day. So it was kind of like, what a nice guy. So of course I thought that was so adorable. Um, and I mean, my dad had a good life. He was a performer for 84 years. Well, not 84 years, not his whole life, but he performed for a lot of years. He performed up until he died. So up until he was 84, he was a construction worker up until he died. When he was 84, he was gonna turn 85 very soon. But he brought joy to the world. Everybody loved him. He was so popular. And he's got a YouTube video. So search 84 years young, Pond Life, and you'll see my dad. He was so adorable when he was older, obviously because he aged, but he looked super young. Um, but he had that adorable look, and then when he was young, he was like very, very good looking. So he looks very, very good even as an older man. He was very, very good looking. I mean, people would have, like, women still probably thought he was a fantasy. Like, he was gorgeous still, even in his 80s. So it's like so nice to have had the genes that I got. I was very, very lucky to have the genes that I had. Um, and my family couldn't have been any better in this process. My friends and my fans that are reacting to this and saying nice things, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, he would have wanted me to perform all my life. He was that kind of person. He was so happy. For him, life was a party. He enjoyed life. He had fun. He didn't restrict himself. He felt really good about things he was doing, and he really made sure to give joy to people. And he performed in huge venues. I mean, to have a parent like that, he needed no help really till at the end, pretty much. Like, I mean, he barely needed help in his life. Like, he was healthy pretty much till the end. So, I mean, even though he passed, and it's very, 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 very sad, I'm grateful that he was the kind of person he was. Even my mother was very, she was she was very strong, and she was able to do things all up to the end. She was sharp as a nail when she was alive. She was very sharp. She knew what was going on. She didn't die of dementia, which is devastating. I can imagine. So she had been very, very well as well. My parents were very good people. And it's kind of like the type of person. When you see, it's almost like people like Liam Hemsworth and Miley Cyrus. I know they're not together anymore, but couples like that, right? Like my parents were like that, right? So when you have couples like that, they're very strong, they're very healthy, they're very good, and they just want to see their children do well. And of course, all the kids in the family are doing well. I'm very happy. My siblings have good jobs. I mean, they're doing good. And my family's doing good. So I mean, and the funeral service was horrible. I was like, oh, I couldn't believe it. But I mean, it was not. No, the service itself was very, very good. But just the fact seeing my dad there, like that, I was like, oh my god. But the funeral service was very, very good. My family had picked good songs. My family really, my brother had picked very good songs for the eulogy and for the service and everything. It was really, really good. I was really impressed. My family, two of my siblings had done everything last minute. Everything was done last minute, very last minute. They really worked hard, so really great thank you to them. Um, and and even the priest at the service, very good priest, like very good priest. He did a very, very, very good job. I don't think I could have seen the sermon done any better. I think the sermon and all that, not the sermon, but just the whole proceedings and everything was done, couldn't have been done any better. I think they did a great job, and for me to think that they for me, it was really nice. I was really grateful. I'm really happy that it turned out as the way it did. And my dad was buried next to my mother, and I mean, it was just so sad. But now with my family, I'm not going to discuss more about my family. There are people in my family that could be stars very easily. I can think of at least five or six that could be stars themselves, performing, doing the things that I do. Not very different. They're very different styles than me. Um, and one of them is a bit similar to me, but I mean, for the most part, they're very different styles. They would be probably doing different types of performing, but one would probably do similar performing that I do. But I mean, there are potential stars in my family. So even though I'm the only one that I can think of on YouTube, there are some that might become stars. I'm not sure when or how that'll pan out. And I'm not sure if they're even pursuing, but I'm pretty sure they are. So I'm really looking forward to that. All my siblings are so great. I have great siblings, and their partners are amazing. Great partners that they have. Very supportive, loving partners. So I'm really happy at how everything turned out. As much as it was a grieving thing, very stressful and difficult, but I mean, for the most part, my dad had a very easygoing kind of lifestyle, very relaxed, and even though he did construction, it was easy for him. He made it look so easy. So, um, that's exemplary of the kind of life that everybody should have, really. But yes, my dad was very, very lucky. He was very, very blessed. Even though he passed at 84, which I think is young for him, especially. He really gave a good go at life and really did everything he could to make us have a better life. So, I'm really happy with how my family is. My family really is great. I'm really lucky. And I know all of you guys are looking through, I'm not sure if the service is posted up yet. I'm not sure what happened with that. I was trying to look for it on YouTube, but I couldn't find it. But I'm sure it might be there somewhere. But I'm not sure if it's on Facebook or YouTube, but I'm sure they will post it. Um, I'm hoping they post it, but I don't know if they will. Um, but yes, so I know a lot of people are in mourning still. I'm in mourning still. But I know a lot of people are in mourning still, and a lot of people really liked my dad. Like, he was incredible, and he was so popular. Like, immediate family's one thing. We're all embarrassed by him sometimes, and we're all like this and that growing up. But all in all, his friends are like thinking he's the bee's knees, right? So um, so his friends probably thought like his friends were like, and like his friend that came to the service, he was like crying, and he was like, oh, it was so cute. He seemed like the nicest guy ever, and I'm like, oh, I wish you could go in there, and give your respects. And he was like an older guy, that looked very happy, like he was had a fun time with my dad. And so, I was just like, oh, that's crazy. Oh, it was really cute. I was like, oh, that's adorable. So, um, um, yes, and my family is very, my family is like good, we're a good family, and we have good hearts, that's all that matters really in life, health and good hearts. My siblings are all amazing, very lucky to have great siblings, So, you know, I really, like, this was a really difficult time, and I mean, I get over things fast, and things are not so difficult for me, and I do see the fact that, you know, my performing is an important part of my life, and it's an important part that my parents wanted that for me. You know, my dad put an accordion in front of me when I was young. You know, he really wanted me to do that, and so, you know, it's kind of like, well, nice to know that my dad got his wish, that I performed, and that I am a performer, and I'll keep his legacy going. And you know, my siblings are great though. I'm very supportive of my siblings. All my siblings are amazing. Very grateful to having all my siblings. I've had very good support from all of them. This has been a difficult time, but we all really stood by each other and supported each other. So really grateful to that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Um, my dad would have wanted me to perform. That's what he wanted for me. He also would have wanted me to have children, so I'm going to have children as well. So I'm old, but I'm not that old. I'm 41, but I should have children by now. But I mean, it's never too late. And he had when I was born, he was 43. So I will have children as soon as I can, for sure by 43, because I want to have children. Um, so, and I want to have lots of children. So I want to pass my genes on. I'm very fortunate to have the genes that I have to my children. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you all to people that are grieving over my dad. This is like, I mean, I don't think anyone's more important than anyone else. There's no one more important than anyone else, but this is a very important time for a lot of people with this situation. You know, my dad was very important to a lot of people. So, you know, he performed to huge crowds. A lot of people knew about him. A lot of people liked him. So, really grateful to everyone that sent me messages on my YouTube channel, that sent me messages everywhere. Really grateful because, you know, at the end of the day, we really want to thank the people that that say these things. And I know that all of you that didn't send messages are there in spirit, and you guys are there to say you care in other ways. You watch my videos, you watch my dad's performing, you knew my dad, you know me. A lot of my friends are busy. We all have individual lives now. We didn't grow apart. We just had busy things, and we had lots of things we had to do. So we don't, you know, we're immersed in our family life and our situations, and we're not always able to see each other. But I know all of you guys have my back. I have yours, and you know, I know for a lot of people that it's, you want to be with your family and you want to have fun with your family. So just like me, I want to be with my family and my friends that have time right now. But you know, I know you guys are all there for me. I know you guys are all rooting for me, and I know you guys want me to be famous and do well. And it would have been really nice for my dad to have been there. You know, I really wanted my mom to see that too. You know, I was hoping I'd be famous sooner than later, and then he would have been around. But I was hoping that he would be famous. I mean, he has YouTube videos. Search search 84 years young, um, Pond Life, and you'll see. But you know, I mean, he was super talented, and I know I've said all this stuff a lot, but it's still fresh and new, and I'm really, you know, wanting my dad's legacy to move on with me. Um, you know, and the thing was, like, with the way that the funeral service went and everything, like, my family did such a good job. They picked great songs. They really worked hard, and you know, they had always been there for me and my parents, and you know, I have very good siblings, very good siblings. So all my siblings are amazing. So thank you all for watching. Totally enjoy, guys. All right, click that subscribe button. Thank you. Bye now.